But to talk more about the markets, let's bring on board Rohit Srivastava, founder and strategist at IndiaCharts.com, joining in with us. Rohit, very good afternoon, and thank you so much, as always, for joining in with us on ET Now. Rohit, I want to just start with what's your view coming in on the benchmark indices. When you look at the Nifty, that 19,400 mark, we even touched that yesterday. But today, we saw a bit of a dip coming in on the red. In the red was the Nifty. Now, again, a recovery. What are the levels that one should watch out for now in the Nifty?
Yeah, thanks for that. What we are really looking at in terms of the Nifty and the Bank Nifty is to break past the falling trend line that we have from the high that we saw last month. So from the top of July, if we draw a trend line, the level we get on the Nifty is 19,460, and on the Bank Nifty, it's around 44,100. Now, Bank Nifty is trading above that level, but what we want to see is an end of day closing above these two levels. Those would be the first signals that we do have a trend reversal on these indices towards the upside, from what has been a almost 4-week decline in the Nifty. So once that happens, we'll start looking at a rally going back to the highs. That's the expectation with which we'll begin. Can that falter? We'll try and watch the 61% retracement mark, but the expectation would be that once you've confirmed a bottom, you will go back to test the all-time highs again. The lead signal for which we're already getting for the mid and small cap stocks, which are basically the broad market doing well, is a sign that the general market should also join in. But we do need those breakouts as a momentum confirmation. So that means that the most recent lows are pretty good supports to hang on to, whether it's 19,253 on the Nifty. Even if that had broken, we would have probably seen, downside to 19,150. That would be our worst case scenario. If at all it happened, right now we are closely watching this breakout point. And similarly on the Bank Nifty, I think there's the 20-week average, which has held as a pretty good support, which was close to around 43,800. We didn't break that on a weekly closing basis, and therefore, if we stay above that for the rest of the week, then that would also be a good sign.
Rohit, I want to understand the charts of Reliance Industries with you also, but I'll come back to you in a moment. We need to also address, there's a lot of curiosity around Geo Financials and the way it's hitting down circuit for a third day in a row. So I'll just, please be patient with me, come back in a minute. Somit is here with the action. Somit, tell us how much the delivery is happening, how much fund flows are expected to be on the negative side, due to which the down circuit continues here.
Well, if you see, the share prices of Geo Financial has hit a lower circuit for the third consecutive session now. Very high number of sell orders that we have been continuously seeing on Geo Financial. On the first trading day, it was close to 3.7 crore. On the second day, that is yesterday, it was close to 11 crore, and today it has already crossed 14 crore sell orders. Now, this selling was pretty much expected, given the fact that the passively tracking mutual funds have been need to sell their holding in Geo Financial, because Geo Financial is supposed to be moved out of both the indices, that is Nifty and Sensex. Now, what analysts were expecting that because of the fact that Geo Financial will be moved out of Nifty and Sensex, there could be a selling of close to 14.5 crore shares, and that is what we have been continuously seeing when it comes to Geo Financial. But also do remember that given the fact that the stock has been hitting a continuous lower circuit for 2 consecutive sessions, Geo Financial's removal from Nifty and Sensex has actually been deferred. Earlier, it was not supposed to be a part of Nifty and Sensex on Thursday, but now it will not be a part of Nifty and Sensex from Tuesday. And also, if the stock continuously hits a lower circuit for 2 consecutive sessions, then again the deferral, the removal of Geo Financial from Nifty and Sensex can be deferred further. So keep an eye out for Geo Financial in trade. The stock has been hitting lower circuit because mutual funds have been continuously selling their shares.
Thanks for that. Rohit, Reliance Industries, just for understanding purposes, becoming a drag on the index as well. What are the charts telling you?
Right. So people should not consider this as advice, because we are not an advisory service. But when we are looking at the Reliance chart, there are 2 things, long-term and short-term, to consider. Longer term, the stock was an underperformer throughout 21-22. It had a falling channel that it broke out of in the early part of July. So that level was at around 2440 now, and it's a level that dips a bit, so maybe 2420. So that becomes a major support level, because once you've broken out of something, that acts as a support for the trend going forward. Now, this breakout did happen on the news related to the Geo Financial Services group demerger. But however, following the demerger, if we adjust the stock price of Reliance, it is still outside the breakout zone, and therefore that's a good thing. What it is doing is it's consolidating above the 40-day average. So that gives us a more tighter support closer to around 2480. And as long as that is holding, we look at this current phase between July, August as a consolidation before it continues its move higher. Because like we said, it's broken out, which means the downtrend or the consolidation phase is over, and it should generally be in an uptrend, is what we think.
Okay, one more stock I want to discuss, Rohit, with you, and that is REC. If you compare the REC stock, it's been on an uptrend last few months, but compared to the other PSU power stocks like say NTPC, which is the 14-year high, REC is still some catch up to do, but it has started moving at the same time last few months. Do you think REC can do a longish kind of a trend for 6-8 months if one has to take a positional call?
So, one has to look at it from two angles. One is if you're thinking of, adding something now, you're also looking at a stock that has been going up for, several days and weeks together. And therefore, the ideal strategy is always to wait for a dip whenever it comes. We're not saying whether it'll happen right away or not, but it's always good to get that dip so that your risk reward is, on your side. Elliott wave wise, I would think that, the move from the bottom that we saw in March is somewhere at the end of one 5-wave structure. Now, what that technically means is that every time you complete 5 waves, the markets like to pause a little longer than they did the previous time. So we would really want to wait and watch for a while. That doesn't mean that the larger trend changes. It's been uptrending. Can it continue to trend for months ahead? Yes, but can there be a pause for a period of time is something that you'd really want to think about.
Right. Rohit, also I just want to talk about something like a polycab. What is your view still on this one? In the last 1 year also, we've seen a sharp run-up already come in this one. But is that something that one should still look at in the polycab? Because today also we're seeing a good jump up in the stock.
Not a stock that's on my track, so I'm not sure I can give a very clear picture on it.
Okay, what about Sun TV? There's a breakout happening there?
Again, I have not been looking at that. Lots of stocks, lots of movement, but not everything that's on radar.
Okay, Rohit, before we let you go, what's on your radar then?
Well, the first thing we are looking for is which sectors are really turning around. The first signs that I'm getting today from what we call the Rohit Momentum Indicator, it's a proprietary indicator, is probably today's close. We could get buy signals in the Bank Nifty, the NSE Metal Index, and the NSE Realty Index. So these are three sectors then therefore to watch, because the first buy signals that you get can be indicative that these could be the leading sectors on the way up in the coming weeks.
Right, Rohit, thank you so much for joining in with us on ET Now as always and giving us an understanding on the markets as well as stocks as well.